What's going on, everyone? Yo, I recorded this video last week, but something happened with the editing phase and I was unable to use the footage. So I had to wait until this week to re-record, and I'm here now. So nevertheless, let's jump into it. But also, let me say this. The questions that you all asked, I'm going to answer each question, but just know that the information I'm going to share with you, while it will be valuable and you will be able to use it, the best way for me to assess your voice is if you schedule a one-on-one session with me. So if you want to do that, you can sign up at the link below in the description section. And also, if you want to get my home study program and go a little bit further, then that's down in the description section as well. So feel free to check that out and see what you think. Now, let me get into these questions. I'm gonna pull it up on my phone, so I'm not ignoring you. I'm just pulling it up so I can go right through. All right, so here we go. How not to run out of breath. Okay, so there's two things I want to tell you about that. It could pertain to your body, where there are certain muscles, particularly the lower support muscles, which would include the back muscles down into the lower abdominal muscles, but also the upper muscles like the rib cage, even down into the pelvis. If those areas are not contracting like they should, and as far as the ribcage is concerned, if it's not expanding like it should, then it's not holding back enough breath pressure, and therefore you'll feel like you're running out of breath. So that's one reason. Another reason that you might feel like you're running out of breath is because your vocal folds aren't holding back enough breath pressure. If they're not closing healthily, then a lot of air might be escaping. And in addition to feeling like you're running out of breath, you might also feel like your tone is too breathy, okay? So to fix that is a sound that goes like this. So it's H-E-H. It's really light. You're not trying to push it. You're not trying to bash it. Just think that it's kind of bouncing gently along or hopping along. You do it in succession like that. And you can just feel like your vocal folds are coming together healthily, and that's helping to stop some of the breath pressure. It's going to help to strengthen the inner edges of your vocal folds. It's going to also make you feel your body working. So see if you feel something in your sternum, see if you feel anything in your chest, in your rib cage, in your torso, down to the buttocks, down to the pelvis. See if you feel any of those areas reacting. When you do that, then it's going to help you to start to learn how to manage your breath pressure. Okay, you're going to start to feel how breath is released in accompaniment of the body helping to release it and not allowing too much breath to pass through. Okay, and then you can sustain the note. And that teaches you how not to overblow your vocal folds and push too much breath. Okay. I thought I was going to say something else about that. There's a lot that can be said, but that's a solid exercise. I think you can just go with that. But there was something else I wanted to say. What did I want to tell you? Yeah, that's going to be enough. That's going to be enough for that question. All right, let's keep going. Mike, I'm an Indian singer and composer. We are not taught about the technicality of music in the department of breathing. I've seen your videos and I just love those videos. Thank you. That was amazing. Thank you. My question is about breathing. Help me to breathe properly to sing in my own voice. I know that everyone has an influence behind their voice. Except these things, I want to be unique, and you can see my YouTube videos to understand my vocal structure and pattern, and that will help you to guide me. Once again, thanks a lot, Mike. Okay, so the breathing. Again, another aspect that we could talk a lot about. Here's one thing I'd like you to try. First of all, I want you to understand the concept of the inhale, where breath goes deeper into the body, okay? And as far as the exhale is concerned, you want to make sure that breath is released steadily, okay? So if you saw in one of my other videos about the hiss exercise, that helps you to learn how to manage the breath steadily on the exhale, okay? And you should feel your body start to engage. But on the inhale, I want to focus on that to make sure that you're getting it deep into your body. I want you to take your hands and I want you to grab, let me kind of set my phone down. I want you to grab at your torso. So, you know, you have your rib cage up here. If you go too low, you'll be on your hip bone. So go to your torso, like the midsection, the obliques. And I want you to squeeze there, okay? I want you to squeeze at your torso. So you're literally going to pinch in at your torso, okay? So you're gonna grab there and pinch in. Then I want you to take a breath in. Just breathe in. You can do it through your mouth or through your nose or both. And you should feel your fingers and your thumbs start to expand, okay? Then once you fill up, let it out. Rest for about 2 rest breaths, and then do it again. And do about like 25 of those. The whole purpose of that is to learn how to breathe deeper into the body, okay? So you always hear about sing from the diaphragm, sing from the diaphragm. Well, the diaphragm, you know, we can't directly affect that. It's the muscles attached to the diaphragm, such as the intercostal muscles, the ribcage muscles, and then also, you know, that will connect into the back and then down deeper to the torso. Everything is connected. Our body's all connected in that way. And so the more that you exercise the muscles that support the diaphragm, then the diaphragm will operate more freely. Okay, so anyhow, again, you grab at your torso, you squeeze in, take a breath in, feel your fingers and your thumbs expand. I've done this with clients before, and some have felt it, and some say, I can't feel my fingers or my thumbs expand because they weren't breathing deep enough, and it took them some time to get it, okay? So keep working on that. You want to learn how to breathe deeper into your body. Then that's going to change your posture. It's also going to release tension at the throat, and therefore you'll start to feel more openness and more freedom in your voice, okay? So work on that exercise, all right? All right, so, hi, Mike. Hey. Please explain to me how to remove the pushed chest voice up into my head voice. How do you make head voice powerful and not pushed? I also run out of breath when I sing in that weak head voice. I hope you understand the problem. Thank you. Okay, so again, I mentioned before that everyone's question, the root issue could be different from person to person. But as far as the chest voice being pushed up into the head voice range, okay, I know I already did a video on this. I know I did, and you might already know this exercise, but please trust the process. The lip rolls, oh my gosh, it will help you to drop that vocal weight, okay? If you're pulling your chest voice up too high, and you're getting choked out, and then you just automatically flip right into your head voice, then you have to balance that out. You know, for one, the exercises that I've already done, like the breathing to the torso and the and doing that up and down your range, that will definitely help as well. That will definitely help you to drop some of that vocal weight so that you're not pushing your voice up. So really, those two questions that have been asked and those two answers I already gave, that in and of itself will do it. But add the lip roll as well. But here's the thing, slow it down. Don't go so fast up. Be steady as you go higher and make sure that there is no flipping. If you do a lip roll and there's no flipping, then your voice is blending. Now all you have to do is take it from the lip roll into an open tone. So after you do, and you can do that, then do, you know what I mean? And just follow the same connection that you have from the lip roll into the O sound, ah sound, E sound, I sound, whatever sound that you want, okay? If you can blend on a lip roll, you can blend on an open tone, but just don't go to the open tone and all of a sudden start pushing. Still use the same support. Now, if you feel like you want some more power, especially like in the head voice range, then play around with the volume of the lip roll, okay? So let's say you're singing a song and it has a belty head voice part. Well, when you do your lip roll, do it at the same intensity that the song is. You know what I mean? So it might be, then again, you know what I mean? And once you do it on the intensity or at the same intensity with the lip roll, then take it into an open sound. You know, so that's how you can start to get more power in your head voice. Get it with the volume that you want first on a lip roll, and if you can do it without your throat collapsing and squeezing and you can feel your body connecting, then just go into an open tone and go back and forth and make that connection, and then start to put the words in there. All right? Okay, let's keep going. I need to take my voice to higher levels as I'm working towards singing in the worship team in my church. And okay, so that was all that this person wrote. So there's not necessarily a question in there. So basically, vocal training, be vocalizing every day, be doing breath work every day, do breath work every day, vocalize every day, and then that will take your voice to a new level. And I'll throw in this other thing. And this goes with any style of music, I believe, any style of music, but definitely with what some people would consider sacred music. The idea with that type of music is to be a servant of sorts, serving your worship and your praise and giving to your God or whatever you serve, whomever you serve, your gifts in your ability, through song and through thanksgiving and all those type of things. And so along with all that, I believe comes sincerity, So if you're training your voice daily through vocalizing and through breath work, and then you also approach the music and the worship with sincerity, then that's going to take you to a new level. Okay. And then for those who don't do worship music and just in general, this can still apply to you as well in terms of sincerity. Be sincere about what you sing about. Okay. All right. Let's see. Hello, sir. Hello. How should you recover from strained vocal cords? Same thing. And what exercises are permitted during recovery? Thanks. Okay, so again, this is something that is different for everyone. I will say that breathing exercises is good, but you can also do vocal exercises such as the lip roll. That is permitted. That will help you to recover. You can do a light humming sound like Don't try to push too high or too low. Just go. I feel like I had something on my lip, y'all. Sorry. I feel like my lips are chapped. I need my chapstick. Anyways, don't push too high. Don't push too low. Just glide through your range on an easy humming sound. Okay. What else do I want to say with that? Another thing that you can do with the lip roll, the breathing exercise, the humming sound. Yes. Oh, the hiss sound. Believe it or not, that also helps with vocal recovery because a lot of times when the vocal folds get strained, it's from excessive squeezing. That sounded weird. Excessive squeezing. And it also can happen from too much air overblowing the vocal folds and they get irritated. So a hiss can help you to pull back and hold back that breath pressure, and it can rejuvenate the vocal folds. It can help them to reduce in swelling, okay? And then other things, drinking a lot of water, make sure you're getting rest. All of those things are beneficial as well. And then, not to scream, not to yell, but, really allow your voice to recover. And I don't mean vocal rest in the sense of no talking or anything, unless you really damage your voice. And then I would recommend you go see an ENT, an ear, nose, throat doctor, to make sure there aren't any polyps or any hemorrhaging or any type of vocal trauma. Okay. Yeah. So that's what I would say with that. So those 3 or 4 exercises I mentioned. Okay. All right. Let's see. Hey, Mike, I want to know when singing, the rib cage is filled with air or the back is filled with air or both together? Great question. So technically speaking, air only goes to the lungs. However, in the respiratory process, other areas of the body should react. And the back and the the back and the rib cage are part of those areas. So basically, both the back and the rib cage should react to your inhale. Okay. Now, when you say filled with air, I just want to be sure it's not where you fill all the way up and then you try to sing. Okay. If you're doing breath work, you can pretty much fill up to capacity and then exhale to capacity. But if you're exhale to exhaustion. Y'all, you know what, y'all? I'm gonna be totally honest. It's 2:28 right now. I know you see this light background and all this kind of stuff. It is 2:30 a.m., but I wanted to get this done for y'all. So forgive my little blunders here and there. But anyways, back to your question. So when you inhale, and you're actually about to phonate, you're about to speak or you're about to sing, you don't take in all your air. You just take in enough to feel your body react. You want to feel the expansion at the back and at the rib cage and also feel a little length happen. And then you sing. So again, to answer your question, both your back and your rib cage should respond to the inhale. They should expand, should feel like air is going to those places. Both. All right. Can you give a take on managing your full potential with asthma or other respiratory problems? Oh, good question. Now, I'm not a doctor. And if you've been watching the video this whole time, then this might be a little bit redundant. But when it comes to asthma and respiratory issues, my recommendation would be working with breath work, breathing exercises, because asthma literally affects the ability to breathe freely. You know what I mean? So doing things like the exercise, I didn't give it a name. Let's say torso breathing, where you're squeezing at the obliques, at the torso, and breathing in and then releasing. That can help. So I do recommend that. Another thing you can play around with is a straw. Just take a straw and inhale, and maybe take it away and then inhale again, take it away and exhale. And then this time, just inhale regularly, but then exhale through the straw. Then inhale, exhale through the straw. And so doing it through a straw can help to strengthen your respiratory muscles, okay? And so hopefully that can be something beneficial with asthma. But you might still want to check with your doctor just to make sure there isn't anything else that they can recommend. But all the other exercises like the lip rolls and stuff, that can even help too, because that deals with balancing out the breath pressure. So that can help you to continue working towards your full potential as a singer or a speaker. You didn't actually say singing or speaking, but yeah, but still, for both of those, okay? All right. There's a vocal technique where you force air pressure to come out while vocal fry, and there goes like something like a strong sound, which is being used by both female and male singers. Okay, let me read that one more time. There's a vocal technique. I might kind of edit a little bit. There's a vocal technique where you force air pressure to come out, and I'm assuming while vocal fry is happening as well. And it's a strong sound, and it's being used by both female and male singers. I don't know how to specifically describe it, but if you heard of her, Zara Larsson uses it a lot. How can I develop that? Okay, I have got to check this out. For one, I'm not sure who Zara, or Zara, I'm assuming Zara, who Zara Larsson is, but I'm going to check her out. And I'm not sure what the sound that you're referring to. The only thing I can think about is growling, and it's something that I hear in gospel music a lot. I also hear it in some rock styles. And so it's where the vocal folds are kind of rubbing together abrasively to where you get like a gritty sound. You know, so it's kind of, I don't use it in my singing, but it can be very effective depending on, you know, what you're trying to do, the style. But it's kind of like a, or you know, not the run, but just the sound, like that. You know what I mean? So I'm singing, how did I get there? How, you know what I mean? That grit there. So is that what you're talking about? If you're not, then I'm so sorry. If that's what you're talking about, then the best way to first just to even get started is to imitate what you hear. Okay, imitate it. Just really try. Like, just like if someone said, imitate me, and you say, imitate me, and then they say, imitate me, and then you said, imitate me, and then they say, oh, and you do, oh, you know, like you try to imitate the sound. Start there first, but when you do that, really try to focus on feeling your rib cage, your back, your torso, down deeper into your body. Engage as you do it, you know, not necessarily squeeze. So I'm not telling you to squeeze your stomach. Now you can add a little energy to your back, you know, kind of, but try to feel like your body reacts to it so it doesn't just fall on your throat. Because if you don't have some type of connection to your body when you do it, then you're gonna get so vocally fatigued quick and you might lose your voice. Okay, so just be careful with that. All right, and if that's not the sound that you were talking about, I'm so sorry. But let me know if that was it. All right, I think I have one more question. How to sing with falsetto voice in the weekend style? My head voice sounds too squeezed, and if I try to make it lighter, it still sounds bad. Also, I have pitch problems with my falsetto, but not with my head voice or chest voice. Why? Okay, so a couple things. The Weeknd, now it's not that I know all of his music like that, but every time I've heard The Weeknd, he primarily has used head voice, not falsetto. Okay, so remember, head voice has texture to it, it has dynamic range to it, and it has clarity to it. It has good chord closure. So I can make it rounded like a, or I can make it edgy, you know, but it's still being head voice. Falsetto is really breathy and weak, so it's like a, like there's no dynamic range. You can't get louder, softer, and it just sounds really wimpy. So I'm thinking that what you want is stronger head voice. You know what I mean? Because like I said, every time I've heard The Weeknd, he's used his head voice, not falsetto. Okay, so if that's the case, to be honest, and this is the last question in the list, everything I mentioned before, the lip rolls, the oh, I can't remember everything else, but you know, because you were watching the video, hopefully. But everything that I mentioned before will give you a stronger head voice. Oh, the lip rolls, we're playing with the dynamics, okay? So lip roll up into the head voice range that you want, and then play around with the dynamics, like getting louder and softer. You know, the volume that you want singing out, do that with the lip roll. Do that with your vocal exercises, okay? So be dynamic, soft, and loud. Play around with that, and that's going to help you with getting the strength in your head voice, okay? Even the humming up into your head voice, that can help to strengthen the head voice as well. So work with those throughout your range. Now, here's the thing, your voice is connected, okay? So even though you want a stronger head voice, don't only practice that range. Make sure your voice is blended. So practice through your mid-range, practice in your lower range as well, train that as well. But yes, when you get into the head voice, play around with like the lip roll and the volume, you know, even the heh, play around with that up in your head voice range, if you can do it comfortably without squeezing, and that will strengthen it, okay? All right, y'all, so I hope this was beneficial. Again, if I can work with you one-on-one, then I can really help you to tackle your issues. But if you're not able to do that, then of course you can get my home study program, and that covers some of the things that we talked about today, you know. But either way, I hope that something that I've offered is helping you and it'll be beneficial, okay? That's kind of redundant, helping you be beneficial, same thing. Like I said, it's almost 3 a.m. now, so I'm about to go to bed, and thank y'all. Thank you. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you all in my next video.